Hey everybody, today I'm going to talk to you about LinkedIn with my focus being on giving recommendations and getting recommendations. And I'm going to say that versus I like the recommendations better than if you scroll down here, LinkedIn has two things. It has its skills and endorsements, and people will give you a recommendation for a skill or endorsement, but nobody searches by that, and really nobody pays attention to it. So I ignore that. People will just give me recommendations on that, which I'm grateful for, or rather endorse my skill. But I notice that tons of people just endorse it. They don't know me. They're just saying that she's saying she's got the skill, so I'll just endorse her for that. So I find it kind of lame. But a recommendation is where people are actually reading about you and want to know what are people actually saying about this person for whatever it is. So the endorsements pop up first, but ideally, you want to get recommendations. As you can see, I've given out 67 here. A lot of those that I've received is because I gave them, and the system, as I mentioned, automatically asks the person I'm giving it to, do you want to help her out? And by giving her one, not all did it, as you can see, those rascals, but it still works. So you can ask to be recommended here is one way to do it to kind of get it going, but I prefer really to be more proactive and give them one. So where you go is you scroll back up to the top, you hit these little dots. Why is that not happening? Come on. Oh, it's on me. Okay, sorry, ignore that. Let's say I'm going to search for someone I want to give a recommendation to. So Brian just happens to be somebody on our team here. He's on the LePage Johnson team. He's already got his stuff updated, which is excellent. We got to get him a background picture. All kinds of things that you want to make sure you're current with so that when people are reading your different information about you, it will be current and you want all the links to go. So here is the dots next to Brian. So you click on those, share his profile if I wanted to, unfollow, request a recommendation just like it was on that previous one, or actually recommend Brian, which is what I'm going to do here. My relationship with him is Brian was going to work with Brian, different kind of Brian. Saying you work with Brian in the same group. You reported, you managed Brian. So I'm going to say that we worked in the same group. Select Brian's position at the time. He is currently with eXp Realty in our LePage Johnson team. And so it's automatically got it set up for next for me. So I'm going to do that. And I'm going to just write a brief description of why I think he's such an awesome guy. So what I'm going to write here is Brian. My system's working a little slow. Come on. Okay, I was having some issues there with the typing. So I just typed it all up, and it says Brian is extremely sharp and conscientious. I've only worked with Brian a short time, and yet I see how committed he is to whatever the task is before him. I highly recommend him in all your real estate needs. And so now I'm just going to hit send. And so that's taking care of that, sending that off to Brian. So now he's going to get that, which is great. And then he will receive it and have an option of whether or not he wants to read it and post it, because that's an option on his end. So the one trick to that is I believe he gets a notification if he has it set up that way in his LinkedIn to be notified that somebody just recommended him. If he doesn't have that notification, he won't get it, which could be the reason why some of these people down here in my recommendations never responded is they did not have that link coming to them. So you can also see when you've made recommendations to people, I'm trying to figure out where that is, how you can see if you can, oh, I know what it is. If you've asked for a recommendation, it'll give you a printout of like who you asked for, whether or not they gave it to you or not, and you could re-ask. So let's do that. right now. I will say I'm going to request a recommendation. So I'm going to say I work with Brian in the same group, and uh, realtor broker at eXp Realty. I'm going to hit next. Hey Brian, can you write me a recommendation? I don't have to say anything more if I don't want to. That's it. It's already pre-filled it out, and I'll send it to him. So when I do that, now I've asked for that recommendation from him. I might be more likely, actually, maybe I will do that going forward, is I just gave you one and I'll ask for one and see if it doesn't help. And I very proactively go after these recommendations because people will search in LinkedIn for, like, let's say we're going to look for Realtor Mooresville. Let's see who pops up. Hopefully I do. I do believe that a lot of these agents pay to be in position like this. People results for Mooresville, there were 592 results. So she's got 358 shares connections with me. Oh, I know why probably I'm not popping up, because I'm myself. Hello. So maybe if somebody else that's a non-realtor would pop it up, they would see. So here's some perfect examples. These people are already shared connections with me. So it's saying, boy, you've already got 358 connections with Tracy Cromie. She is on your first level. She's probably the one you want to talk to. There's also Mark Burdett, and the list starts to drop with some of these other agents that I don't have a stronger connection with. Although here's an insurance guy. I don't know why that popped up, because I asked for Mooresville Realtor. So it's pretty interesting to see how this works out. You want to have those recommendations there, because you can see these guys have got recommendations right underneath their name. Let's see if I hit on Tracy. If I was searching for her, does she have recommendations? We'll scroll down. She's got skills, but there's no recommendations in here at all for Tracy. So I would probably skip over Tracy, even though I have a lot of connections with her, that nobody's recommending her. So let me just check and see, make sure they're not there. Nope. So I probably would not do business with her, because more and more people are looking for those recommendations. So I'm going to really encourage you to look. I'm just going to go back here and see, how about I'll look for a realtor in Cornelius. Hopefully the system will let me do this. Right. Typing is driving me a little nuts today. T-O-R-N-E-L-I-S. Look for Cornelius. Click on that. Let's see who pops up. Again, I think these might be paid for spots right here. I'm not positive of that. Okay, so now here's Molly Laporta. She's with Keller Williams. She's in Charlotte. That's interesting. But she must have Cornelius. Yes, she does, right there. See? Real estate broker at Cornelius. But her area that she works is the Charlotte, North Carolina area. So let's look on Molly, who I really don't know. And that's another whole story of how I strategize stuff. So Molly, we're just going to take a look and see more about Molly. Here's her whole story. She's I could endorse her right now, you see, but I think that's kind of lame. Molly's done some articles. It's got her experience in here. So she's doing much more than the previous agent. She's got people who made skill recommendations, and she has got one recommendation here about her. And this was done last year, not too bad. But really, there's not a whole lot of action going on with Molly. So again, your goal is, I would have a background picture for sure, be branded to whatever company it is. For us, it's going to be LePage Johnson with eXp in there. And I would definitely focus on getting recommendations. So that's how you do it. And I encourage you all to be focused on this. And if you just remember in your marketing to always spend some time a week on your marketing, one little piece, just do your time management where I'm going to devote X amount of time. Either Monday it's LinkedIn, Tuesday it's Facebook, or you do 15 minutes of each one for, I don't know, 45 minutes a day where it's just social media marketing of some sort. This will come back to you, people, I swear. So that is our focus for today on this little video, and I hope that it helps you.